quickly break down these degrees because people get confused. When you are looking for scholarship versus when you want to be self-funded, right? Some things are quite different. And in the UK, we have what we call MSc and MRes. MSc is Masters of Science, MRes is Masters by Research. So for Masters of Science, UK, you can get funding for it, right? Also for Masters by Research, you can also get funding for it, right? So, but most of the funding available in the UK is mostly goes to Masters of Science because so that's what they call postgraduate thoughts, right? Most often than not, MRes is usually linked with PhD. So anybody that wants to get scholarship with MRes, right, it has to be linked to a PhD, right? In Canada, we have what we call MA, Masters by Arts, or Masters of Arts, sorry, MSc, Masters of Science, MASc, Masters of Applied Science, MEng, Masters of Engineering, we have Masters of Education, MEd, and Masters of Architecture and the likes, right? So in Canada, all right, all these different schools actually use different terminologies. So in Canada, basically, just like in the UK, in Canada, if a school is using MA and MSc, right, some school, their MA is the one that is going to be funded, while their MSc will not be funded. Okay, while the reverse will be the case for some, MSc will be funded and MA will not be funded, right? Some schools they use MASc, right, and MSc. So some schools is their MASc that will be funded and their MSc will not be funded. You can see that there are technicalities to this thing, and so that's why I like to tell people that you have to be able to study the school and, like every other person has said, study the requirements, know what you are getting yourself into, okay, before you then push. You don't want to send an email to a professor, okay, your prospective supervisor, and you don't know what you're talking about. You say, oh, I want to do MSc, and I would like to understand if you have funding. However, probably in that school or in that department, it's their MA that is being funded. You see, you can see that there's a disparity. So they're saying that you've already shot yourself in the leg, no way out. So also for PhD, we have PhD as Doctor of Philosophy, we have engineering doctorate, we have education doctorate. Again, this is similar in the UK and Canada anyway, but also some engineering doctorates are funded, okay? Some are not funded, okay? PhD is funded, education doctorate, they are funded. So I hope that clears that. Now, the admission process, again, is similar. UK and Canada. The ones that are peculiar, we'll get there, right? So you need your degree certificate. If you are applying for a master's degree, you need your bachelor's degree certificate. If you are applying for the PhD or engineering doctorate or what have you, you need your master's certificate. Now, in some cases, you can get a PhD with your master's, with your bachelor's degree, right? In some cases, both in the UK and in Canada, right? I have an experience with that. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you must have a master's before you get a PhD. Sometimes, okay? It depends on your degree, of course. It depends on your degree, whether you finish the first class or a 2-1. Either you finish the first class or a 2-1, you stand a chance, of course, of getting a PhD directly with funding. Okay. However, some things have to back that up. So it means that you probably have some work experience. It depends on the school. Again, you have to know the requirements. Some will say they want work experience. Some they probably need you to have some specialist skill, maybe like programming skill, depending on the course. All right. Moving on, you need your transcript. So if you have a bachelor's, then you need your bachelor's transcript. Okay, you can't do anything without your transcript. You want to apply for either admission or scholarship abroad. You need your high school certificate, right? And this is what we call a secondary school in Nigeria and I think Ghana, right? But generally, because we have people from different parts of the world here, is what generally is known as high school. So you need your high school certificate. That's what you detail whatever you've done, in the secondary school. You need letter of English proficiency, IELTS or TOEFL. Again, you need to study the school. Most often than not, in Canada and in the UK, once you finish from an English-speaking country, you don't need to do an IELTS or TOEFL. Okay, your normal high school certificates, if you've done English, and you've made a certain grade. So you need to check the school. What grade are they looking for? Okay. Sometimes and most times I advise people that even if you have the required grade, always attach letter of English proficiency. You can always get that from your school. Where do you get it from your school? People that handle your exams and records, okay? In your school, you can get your letter of English proficiency there. It's very important. Okay? Don't miss that out because that can save you almost about £200 or thereabouts to write IELTS, and it will save you stress of preparing and all of that, right? You need your CV and resume. Everybody has said that. It's important for you to have what we call an academic CV. Okay, if you need input into this, you can always ask people around. Okay, this is important. And what I'll give you quickly, what does academic CV entails? Your education comes first, not work experience. When you're writing that CV, after your name, blah blah blah, your email, your education goes next. After your education, what goes next? Then comes if you've gotten any experience, put it. Then let the awards you've gotten, let them show. If you have any paper that you have written, whether conference paper, even if it's an article for online blogs, put it. This is what I used to get my Commonwealth scholarship. I wrote the article for online blog, okay, I put it there and bam, works. So never discount any little thing you have done, never discount it. Any leadership experience you had while in university, put it there. Nothing is waste, right? Personal statement and statement of purpose. In the UK, we call it personal statements. In Canada, it's called statement of purpose, right? It's almost similar. Okay, and in the next slide, I'm going to show you basic things, the essentials that needs to go into this, and I'll give you like an example. Your passport data page. Sometimes you are looking for admission abroad, you are looking for scholarship, and you don't have your passport, you don't have your international passport. This does not work. So anywhere you are in the world, ensure that you have that document at hand, because when you are applying, most often than not, you will need to upload it during your application process. Okay, you need letter of reference, official reference, or letter. In Canada, they call it letter of recommendation. It should be on official letterhead. What I tell people is that this is not difficult because, of course, our lecturers, they are always very busy. You can always discuss with them. Have one letter of recommendation from two of your professors and thereabout. Notify them that you are going to probably be using this to apply for some admissions and scholarships, right? Let them know so that you don't disturb them often and often. Although some schools will say that you need the email address of your professor, give them that email address. Some school will give you the option, especially in UK, right? And most schools in Canada as well. You can always upload your official reference letter or letter of recommendation from your professors. Okay, if you've worked and you've probably worked for 5 years or thereabouts, get one letter of recommendation from the school you finished from, your bachelor's or your master's, then get another letter of recommendation from your employer, right? If you don't want to use your employer, get both from your school. But don't get two from your employer, it will not work. Okay, they need something academic because you are going to school. It's an academic environment, right? So get it. When you use it, notify your lecturer that, oh, okay, I submitted so application and I've used the letter of recommendation you gave to me. Because that way, in case they contact him and you don't know, you will be able to say, yes, I'm aware. Okay, otherwise they will contact him and will say, no, I don't know. And that has ruined your chances, right? And nextly, secure a prospective supervisor. This is for Canada, right? In the UK, you don't need all of this, right? But in Canada, you need to secure a prospective supervisor, and it's similar to what engineer Dr. Owolabi mentioned earlier regarding emailing your prospective supervisor. Even if you want to do masters, okay, in Canada, if it's going to be, we said MA, MSc, and all of that, right? It's going to be MSc or the MA, depends on which school, the way they stamp it. And you need a supervisor. It's the one that is not funded. And I'll tell you, okay, what's the difference between that? Okay, maybe I didn't touch upon that. So the ones that are funded are the ones that has research component. You know what I mean? So if you are doing MSc in Canada, if it's the MSc that is funded in a particular school, it means that you are going to do coursework for 1 year. right? And you are going to do research for like 6 months, 1 year. So that's the difference, right? And if it's that one that you need funding, you need to get a prospective supervisor that will say, I'm ready to supervise you before you then apply. Because like I said, it's similar to what operates in Canada. So once you get that, unlike doing expression of interest, you don't do that in Canada. What happens is that you just go straight and submit your application. All right. And the next thing is research proposal or short position paper. This is mostly for PhD. Now, this is where Canada and UK overlaps. All right. So, if you want to do a PhD, you need to write a short proposal, even if it's going to be 1 page. So, like Dr. Wolabi mentioned, each school have a particular way that they want you to write their proposal. So, check. So, once you've seen it, put it in that format and send it to your prospective supervisor. This is what I advise people. Don't submit your application directly without your research proposal going through your prospective supervisor first. Except if in rare cases the application is supposed to close maybe tomorrow or in 1 week, you can't get response. But if you have ample time, which I believe you should start looking for these things early. Send it to them first, because what it does is that they can easily assist you to tweak it, to say no, change this, change that. This assisted me. It's a long story, right? But this assisted me when I was trying to get into New Zealand, right? It was the professor that went through my proposal, then fine-tuned my proposal for me. That proposal that he fine-tuned for me, if I tell you how many applications or how many admissions I've used it to get, okay, this is the benefit of experience, because he's a professor, he knows what they are looking for. So that's why I keep telling you, do that first, right? Sometimes they won't ask for proposal, they'll say just short position paper. I had the supervisor in Canada, although I didn't end up going to Canada, right? But I had admission, I had money there. So she said, just give me a short position paper. Guess what I did? That research proposal that I've been fine-tuned, I picked some things out of it, because she said I needed just 1 page. I just picked some things out of it and I put it there and I put the references and bam, that's it. So this is very important. Next, please.
Engineer,
yes.
Sorry, you have 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Oh, okay. I'm gonna wrap up in 5 minutes. Pardon me. So this is SOPs and personal statements for essentials. What are the things that need to be there? You need to tell them who you are, what you want to study, your background, plus the reason you want to apply for that course. You need to infuse your skills and strength. You need to show your research interest, and you need to put your long-term goal. On the right-hand side, I've put 1 paragraph sample. Okay? I extracted this from one of my personal statements, right? And I know that you might probably not be able to read it that much, okay? But if I will quickly just glance through it. I said in recent times, humanity faced so many challenges, especially regarding environmental issues, which are constantly being put under pressure by activities of human beings and natural occurrences. See, I've looked at the whole world view. You need to situate your research in that context. All right. Then what did I do? I tried to link it into environmental engineering program that I want, and I also then linked it into my bachelor's research that I did. So basically, that's all you need. And of course, that's just 1 paragraph. Okay. My personal statement is about 4 or 5 paragraphs, right? So we can go into details of that later. Then this is research proposal essential. Okay, like I said earlier, look for what they want. Okay, and sometimes some of them will say put expected outcome. That's why I said it's optional. But every school will have their own process. All right, this is also a 1 page that I just picked out just for you to see. You need to put references. Sometimes I read some proposals and I'm like, so what are you writing? You need to show that you've done some work. Okay, not detailed work, but you've done some work. Put references. Reference well. Okay, they need to show what proposal does is that's not, like Engineer Olabi said, that's not what you will work on at the end of it, right? It will change, and Engineer Adu said this. But they want to see your academic writing skills. Okay, they want to see how can you put your thought process. Okay, they want to see it in that proposal, right? Then scholarships. This is UK scholarship. We have tons of scholarship. But what I want to highlight here, okay, because people feel that UK does not have scholarship. However, UK has scholarship, but it just comes in different form and shapes, right? And again, the country you are in matters. So you need to be able to look at universities, go to their scholarship page, and look at which scholarship fits to your country. So sometimes, like for instance, I give a quick one: British Council Grade Scholarship. This scholarship is not offered in all schools in the UK. It's offered in some specific schools, and it's not offered to all countries. It's only offered to some specific countries. Okay. So also, university have scholarships. Okay. You need to go to that university to be able to see that. Sometimes it's the course. Maybe you want to do accountancy, and they have just one scholarship. I mean, it could be you. Don't If you see one scholarship, don't think, oh, there are 100 of you that will apply. I won't get it. It might be that you are the only one that will apply, and you will get it. And sometimes get admission first. Okay, when you get admission first, sometimes the department will then send emails to those students that have admission that, oh, there is this scholarship that you can apply for. Sometimes they will even check it and say you will qualify for so scholarship, apply for it. But if you don't have admission, there is no way you. Same thing for PhD. PhD, what I would say in this PhD part is go for advertised projects. When you go for advertised projects, you can't go wrong. Okay, there are lots of that. Again, don't box yourself in a corner to say that, like me, I want to do PhD in waste management. Okay, maybe advertised project is in construction management. My brother, just put yourself there, do it. By the time you finish, you can place your waste management. All right, skills and experience is what you do. I have just 2 slides more, doctor. I'm sorry. So for the Canada scholarship, okay, it's almost similar to the right? And what I will just try to pick out from here is that in Canada, sometimes they'll give you admission, and at the end of the day, you'll be asked to apply for what called marketing assistant or graduate assistant, sometimes lab instructor. There was one scholarship I got in Canada, and the university has like an amount we give students, right? But then the department also they now say you can apply for marketing assistant and lab instructor. Everything comes together. The money is complete. Fund your education, right? Same thing for PhD. We've said that for the UK is similar. And another thing for the PhD in Canada is that when you get into program, okay, sometimes you then see that you qualify for another. You then see that you qualify for another scholarship, and that way will be able to then what get scholarship that you so desire. So what next? Okay, I've quickly given you an action point here. Okay, the action point quickly for UK, decide on the school and the kind of scholarship you want. Look for the necessary requirements. Okay, then apply. But if you feel you need help, get support and guidance. Reach out to mentors, reach out to friends, reach out to your colleagues, everybody that you know, let them assist you. All right. Same thing for Canada. Decide on the schools, check requirements and procedure of contacting supervisor. Quickly on this point, I remember that there was a university in Canada, I think University of Alberta or thereabout. On their website, they said, you want to contact the supervisor, prospective supervisor, this is how you should write it. Okay, so you need to check those things. So if you write a mail to the supervisor and you probably don't get response, probably be just like Amuri said, and then you might probably not follow the process. Okay, reach out to them, attach those documents, basic documents, your bachelor's degree, your transcript, and your CV. Bam. If it's PhD, put short research proposal and let's see where that gets us. And lastly, further support I can provide to you, right? If you require support in any of this area and much more, right? If you're looking for schools to be targeting, scholarships to be applying to, Canada or the UK, if you want to get complete information, okay, about scholarships that are available in the UK, the kind of courses you should be applying to UK to sort of position you if you want to stay back after your studies. Okay, if you're a couple, you feel that okay, maybe I have a two school or thereabout, and I don't know if I can get a scholarship, right? I can advise you on how to pay about that and much more, right? So if you need help in any of those, you can just quickly see that link on the screen. I can share that also later in the chat box. You can click it and look at all the support I can provide for you, and we can take it up from there. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope this is helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.